So, you've got a DUI. On top of everything else, you have that sinking feeling in your stomach about your car insurance. Should you call them? Should you wait? What can you even say to keep a bad situation from getting worse? You have a million questions about your rates skyrocketing or your policy getting canceled. Let us cut through the confusion and figure out the exact steps you need to take right now. Let us get the biggest question out of the way first. Are you legally obligated to call your insurance company the second you are convicted of a DUI? In most states, no. There is not a law that says you have to voluntarily report a conviction. There is one major exception: if your DUI involved an accident. If anyone was injured or there was any property damage, your policy almost always requires you to report it. But here's the reality: they are going to find out. It is not a matter of if, but when. Insurance companies do not rely on the honor system. They regularly check your driving record, especially when it is time to renew your policy. The other main way they will be notified is when the state requires you to get something called an SR22. This is a major keyword in DUI insurance and SR22 insurance searches. What in the world is an SR22? It is not actually insurance. Think of it as a certificate that your insurance company files with the state to prove you have the minimum required liability coverage. It is basically the DMV's way of forcing you to prove you are insured. The moment you ask your insurer to file an SR22, you have officially waved a red flag that you are now considered a high-risk driver. This is why high-risk auto insurance is a major search term people look for after a DUI. It is also important to know that a few states have an even stricter version. In Florida and Virginia, a DUI conviction means you will need an FR44. An FR44 is similar, but it requires you to carry liability coverage limits that are much higher than the standard state minimum. Trying to figure out these forms and find an insurer who will even file them can be a real headache, especially when you are already dealing with the stress of a DUI. This is a moment where getting professional guidance can make a world of difference. Speaking with a DUI attorney or an insurance agent who specializes in DUI, insurance and SR22 insurance can help you understand your state's specific rules and find the best way forward. Once your insurer knows about the DUI, you're going to be reclassified as a high-risk driver and your rates are going up. Nationally, the average premium increase after a DUI is about 74%. For a full coverage policy, that could mean your annual cost jumps from around $2,670 to over $5,185. This rate hike is not forever, but it is a long-term problem. A DUI will typically inflate your insurance rates for 3 to 5 years, although it can be longer depending on your state. In California, for example, a DUI conviction stays on your driving record for 10 years, and you will lose any good driver discount for that entire decade. In Florida, a DUI stays on your driving record for 75 years, while insurers generally only look at the last 3 to 10 years for setting rates. The conviction is a permanent part of your record. The bottom line is that the conviction will follow you for years, which makes it incredibly important to manage the fallout correctly from the very beginning. So, what are your immediate steps? First, do not panic and cancel your policy. It is much harder to get a brand new insurance policy after a DUI than it is to keep your existing one, even if the rate goes up. Second, get ready for your renewal. Your insurance company cannot raise your rates or drop you in the middle of your policy term, but they can and likely will take action when it expires. This gives you a window of time to prepare. Third, and this is your most powerful move, shop around. Rate increases vary wildly from one company to another. Your current insurer might double your rates, but a company that specializes in high-risk auto insurance after a DUI may offer a much more manageable premium. Get quotes from multiple providers. Some data shows that insurers like Progressive may have smaller average rate increases after a DUI, but this will always vary by state and by your personal situation. Fourth, once you are past that 3 to 5 year mark, go shopping for insurance again. If you have kept a clean driving record since the incident, your risk level in the eyes of insurers will have dropped, and you will likely qualify for much better rates. Facing your insurance company after a DUI is intimidating, but you have a clear path to manage it. Know that while you do not always have to report it yourself, your insurer will find out. You can expect a significant financial hit, with rate increases typically lasting 3 to 5 years. Your best defense is to be proactive. Use the time before your policy renews to research and compare quotes from different carriers. By taking control and making a plan, you can navigate this challenge and lessen the long-term financial damage.